The lazy reading says, the witches make Macbeth kill. They do not. If you blame everything on them, you let Macbeth off the hook.
Exactly. The witches tempt him, prod him, and disturb him. But the play is careful here. Macbeth hears a possibility, and then he turns it into a plan.
So this is not a puppet story.
No, it is a choice story. A man meets a suggestion that matches something already alive in him, and that matters because responsibility stays with him.
People love the simpler version. Weird sisters appear, dark magic happens, Macbeth is doomed. Clean, easy, wrong.
Wrong, because the first prophecy does not force action. They greet him as Thane of Cawdor and future king. One part comes true almost at once. That shocks him. But being told he might be king is not the same as being told to murder Duncan.
And Macbeth's reaction is the giveaway, right? Banquo hears the same encounter and does not start plotting a regicide by lunch.
That is the key contrast. Banquo is cautious. Macbeth is seized by the thought. Before Lady Macbeth pushes him, before any dagger vision, he is already imagining murder. The witches do not plant ambition in an empty mind. They hit a nerve that is already there.
Which means the danger is not supernatural control. The danger is Macbeth's own response.
Yes, he starts arguing with himself almost immediately. If Chance wants him king, maybe Chance can do it without his help. That line matters because it proves he sees alternatives. He knows he does not have to act.
And then he acts anyway.
Exactly. Duncan names Malcolm Prince of Cumberland, and Macbeth reads that as an obstacle. Now we are in politics, succession, and self-advancement, not witch mind control. Macbeth looks at the board and decides to remove the pieces in his way.
That also raises the stakes properly. If the witches control everything, Macbeth is just a victim. If he chooses, then Scotland is being wrecked by a man chasing power.
And the play keeps proving it. Take the murder of Duncan. The witches are not in the room. What we get instead is Macbeth debating, hesitating, listing reasons not to do it, then surrendering to ambition and pressure. A controlled puppet does not need persuasion. Macbeth does.
That is a hard point people skip. He knows the act is wrong. He names the risks. He knows Duncan is his king, his guest, and a decent ruler.
Right. Knowledge does not stop him. That is why blame matters. The crime comes from desire, plus fear, plus decision. The witches start the disturbance, but Macbeth completes it.
And after Duncan's murder, the puppet reading gets even weaker.
Much weaker. The witches never tell Macbeth to kill Banquo. They never tell him to slaughter Macduff's wife and children. Those are Macbeth's own moves, made to protect stolen power. Once he takes the throne, he becomes his own engine of violence.
So the pattern is clear. Prophecy creates pressure. Macbeth answers that pressure by choosing blood.
Yes. And notice how his reasoning changes. Early on, he is torn. Later, he becomes strategic and brutal. Banquo threatens him because of the prophecy about Banquo's heirs. Macduff threatens him because he has fled to England. Macbeth responds like a tyrant, not like a man under a spell.
Then we get the second meeting with the witches, and people say, there, that proves they control him.
It proves they can deceive him, not control him. The apparitions tell him things in twisted forms. Beware Macduff. None of woman born shall harm Macbeth. He is safe until Birnam Wood comes to Dunsinane. He hears what flatters his confidence and ignores the warning built into the language.
So again, the fatal move is his interpretation.
Exactly. He treats riddles as guarantees. That is not fate crushing him. That is Macbeth choosing the reading that makes him feel invincible. He wants certainty, grabs the most comforting version, and walks straight into disaster.
Which is actually harsher than a usual reading. The play does not say a dark force made him evil. It says he helped ruin himself, because ambition and fear overruled judgment.
And that is why blaming the witches for everything is too simple. It turns a morally responsible character into a haunted object. Shakespeare gives us something tougher. Temptation from outside, weakness from inside, and a chain of choices with real victims.
Victims is the word. Duncan dies. Banquo dies. Lady Macduff and her son die. Scotland falls into terror. Those are not magical side effects. They are the political results of Macbeth's decisions.
Yes, the play keeps asking who causes damage, who benefits, and who pays. The answer is not three weird women on a heath. The answer is the man who hears a prophecy and decides other people must die to make him safe.
So if a student says, the witches made Macbeth do it, what is the correction in one line?
The witches trigger Macbeth's thoughts, but Macbeth turns those thoughts into murder.
That is the whole point. The witches open the door. Macbeth walks through it.